Hello dear students, in this session we will learn about inverse of a matrix by elementary operations. This is the last topic of the chapter matrices, but it is important for your board examination. So if you see this word inverse of a matrix by elementary operation, you can see two words here, inverse of a matrix and elementary operations. So we have to see what are these elementary operations and what is an inverse of a matrix and how we can find inverse of a matrix by elementary operations. So students, let us see what are these elementary operations. We have 6 elementary operations, 3 due to rows and 3 due to columns. Let us see these elementary operations one by one. So the first elementary operation is you can interchange any 2 rows of a matrix or any 2 columns of a matrix, which we can denote like this. See, Ri gets interchanged with the Rj. Here this R denotes the row. Same for column, how you can denote Ci interchanged with the Cj. Okay. Second elementary operation is multiplying any element of any row by a scalar k. That you can represent like this. Ri changes to k times of Ri, means the ith row you are multiplying with the scalar k. Similarly for column you can denote like this. Ci changes to k times of Ci. So what is that second elementary operation? We can multiply elements of any row by a non-zero scalar k. Then let us see the third elementary operation, that is we can add elements of any row to the corresponding elements of any other row multiplied by a scalar k, which you can denote like this. Ri changes to Ri plus k times Rj. So observe here students, we have multiplied the jth row by a scalar k, then we added with the ith row. When I tell we are adding the rows means we need to add the corresponding elements. Okay. Whereas for columns, how we can denote? Ci changes to Ci plus k times Cj, means you are multiplying the jth column by the constant k, then you are adding with the ith column. Okay, you are adding the corresponding elements. So these are the elementary operations which you can apply to a matrix. Next, let us see what is an inverse of a matrix. So next definition is about invertible matrices. So if you have a square matrix A of order m, and if there exists another square matrix B of the same order such that AB is equal to BA is equal to identity matrix, then that B is called inverse of A. And you can denote that like this, A to the power of minus 1. So we denote that inverse matrix B as A to the power minus 1. So I can write A into A inverse is equal to A inverse into A is equal to identity. Observe here students, AB is equal to BA. So here these two matrices satisfies the commutative property of multiplication, and both the products should give you identity matrix of the same order. Next, let us see few important points. So first one is a rectangular matrix does not possess inverse. Why students? Because if you take two rectangular matrices and if you find the product AB and BA, both will be of different order. So different ordered matrices cannot become equal. If they won't become equal means it won't satisfy this. AB is equal to BA is equal to I is the condition for inverse. So a rectangular matrix does not possess inverse. Rectangular matrix won't have a inverse. Next point is, if B is the inverse of A, then A is called the inverse of B. Next, let us see two important theorems on inverse of a matrix. So first theorem is uniqueness of inverse. Means what? If a square matrix has the inverse, then it is unique. It cannot have two or more than two inverses. So we need to prove this theorem. So let us start the proof. So let us take A is equal to Aij, a square matrix of order M. What we need to show? We have to show that if there exists an inverse for A, then it is unique. Let us assume that this matrix A is having two inverses B and C. So we have taken here, if possible, let B and C be two inverses of A. Then what we have to show? We have to show both of them should be equal. B should be equal to C. As we have taken B as the inverse of A, AB is equal to BA is equal to identity matrix. I have taken that as equation number 1. Then we have taken C also as inverse of A. So we can write AC is equal to CA is equal to identity. I have taken that as equation number 2. Next, we have to show B and C are equal. So let us start with the B. So B, how we can write? B can be written as B into identity matrix, because when you multiply any matrix with identity matrix, you are going to get the same matrix only. So B can be written as B into identity matrix. Then B you write as it is, but this I can write as AC from this equation 2. So I can be replaced by AC. So what we got? B into AC. Now use your associative property of multiplication. So by using associative property, how we can write this? This can be written as BA into C. Now again go back to this equation 1. What is this BA? BA is nothing but the identity. So replace this BA by identity matrix. So we have with us now I into C. So I into C will give us what? It is C only. So we got B is equal to C. So what we proved, students? We proved both the matrices are equal, which we have taken as the two inverses of a matrix A. So what you have to remember? If a square matrix has an inverse, then that inverse is unique. Next, let us see the second theorem on inverse. So what is the statement of that theorem? If A and B are invertible matrices of the same order, then AB whole inverse is given by B inverse into A inverse. So like this you had in transpose also. AB whole transpose is what? It is B transpose into A transpose. Likewise only you have for inverse also. AB whole inverse is equal to A B inverse into A inverse. Let us prove this theorem. So proof, let us start from the definition of inverse of a matrix. So what is that definition of inverse of a matrix? A into A inverse is equal to A inverse into A will give us what? Identity matrix. So here we have taken matrix AB, product AB as our matrix, and if we multiply with its inverse, AB inverse, we should get what? Identity matrix. So by the definition of inverse of a matrix, we can write like this: AB into AB inverse is equal to identity matrix. Next, let us pre-multiply by A inverse. Pre-multiplying means what? You need to multiply to the left of the given matrix. Here you can see we have multiplied to the left. Here also for this I, we multiply to the left. So let us pre-multiply by A inverse. So we will get this A inverse into the same thing you can see here is equal to A inverse into I. Now use associative property of a matrices here. So we can write this A inverse into AB. This can be written as A inverse into A. Put bracket for these two, A inverse into A. Then B will go outside the bracket into AB whole inverse is equal to A inverse into identity matrix. Any matrix, if you multiply with identity, you know you are going to get that matrix only. So A inverse into I will give us A inverse. Next, A inverse into A is what? It is identity matrix. So identity matrix into B, and this AB whole inverse is equal to, we have A inverse. Next, identity matrix into B. that will give us B only. So matrix B into AB whole inverse is equal to A inverse. So if you see here, we are having AB whole inverse is equal to B inverse into A inverse. We have reached to the half of this destination. Here we have B. So how to remove this B? We need to multiply by B inverse. So next step, let us pre-multiply by B inverse. So B inverse into B into AB whole inverse is equal to B inverse into A inverse. Now B inverse into B is what? It is identity matrix. So I into AB whole inverse is equal to B inverse into A inverse. Now again, identity matrix into this will give you same matrix, right? So identity matrix into AB whole inverse is AB whole inverse, that is equal to B inverse into A inverse. So we proved that theorem. So what that theorem tells? If A and B are invertible matrices of the same order, then AB whole inverse is equal to B inverse into A inverse. Next, let us see how we can find inverse by using elementary operations. So if you want to find inverse of a matrix A by using elementary row operations, students, you saw we have elementary row operations also, elementary column operation also. So if you want to find inverse of A by using elementary row operations, first thing you need to write A is equal to identity matrix into A. A is equal to I into A. Then you have to apply sequence of elementary row operations. Till where? Till you get I is equal to BA. So till you get BA, you should keep on applying the elementary operations. Once you get this step, what you can observe here? I is equal to BA means what? You multiplied A with this matrix B and you got identity, means this B should be what? It is the inverse of A. So we can conclude that the matrix B will be inverse of A. What we did, students? To apply elementary row operations to find the inverse, first you have to write A is equal to IA, then you should apply elementary row operations till you get I is equal to BA. Once you get here identity matrix, then this B is called inverse of A. Next one, if you want to find A inverse by using elementary column operations, first you need to write A is equal to AI. See the difference, students. Here we wrote A is equal to IA when we applied elementary row operations. So when you are applying elementary column operations, you need to write A is equal to AI. Then again you have to apply elementary column operations till you get I is equal to AB. In this case, this B is called inverse of matrix A. So this is the theoretical part of finding inverse by using elementary row operations or elementary column operations. Let us do this practically by taking an example. Let us just see those elementary operations once again. So what is that first operation? First operation is interchange of any two rows or any two columns. So here you can denote Ri is interchanged with the Rj. Whereas for columns you can denote like this. Ci is interchanged with the Cj, means you are interchanging any two rows or any two columns of a matrix. When you interchange two rows, it will be considered as a row operation. When you interchange two columns, it will be considered as a column operation. So that is the first operation. Then second one, you can multiply elements of any row by a scalar k. So here you can see Ri changes to what? K times of Ri, means ith row we multiplied by a scalar k. For column you can denote like this. Ci changes to k times of Ci. So you multiply the ith column by the scalar k. So what is that second operation? You can multiply elements of any row or elements of any column by a scalar k. Next, third operation is you can add elements of any row with the corresponding elements of any other row multiplied with the scalar. See here, observe, Ri changes to Ri plus k times Rj. Means what? Jth row we multiplied by a scalar k, then we added with the ith row. When we tell adding the rows means you need to add the corresponding entries. For column, how you can denote? Ci changes to Ci plus k times a Cj. So here what we did? Jth column we multiplied by a scalar, then you added with the ith column. So these are the elementary operations. Now let us apply them here in finding inverse of a matrix. Now students, let us solve a problem, that is finding a inverse of a matrix by using elementary operation. So you have given with the matrix A, you need to find the inverse of this matrix. So if you are using elementary row operation, first you need to consider A is equal to IA. This you have to remember how you have to start the problem. You have to take A is equal to IA. Then write matrix A, that is the given matrix, is equal to, then write identity matrix, then write this A as it is. Now our aim is to transpose this. We are having with us A is equal to IA. We need to transform this matrix A to identity matrix, so that finally we will have with us I is equal to B into A. We are doing what? Transformation of matrix by using elementary operations. So A will be transformed to identity matrix, and this identity matrix will get transformed to matrix B. Then finally we will be having with us A into B is equal to identity, means this B is the inverse of A. So how we can convert A to identity? You have to follow a method here. So first one, you see the elements of matrix A. You are having here elements as 1, minus 1, 2 and 3. In the first end here it is already 1. Okay, in identity also you will be having at this place 1. So no need to make any changes there. Next you have to make this entry 2, you have to make as a 0. Next we will go to this one, and here we will make this number as 1. Next we will make this entry as a 0. Then this matrix A will get transformed to identity matrix. You understood the pattern? No? How we have to go? So first this entry we will make 1. Next this entry we will make a 0. Next we will make this entry as 1. Next we will make this entry as a 0. So let us do that step by step. First this one, this we need to make as a 0. So we have to apply operation to which row? To the second row. So I will do the operation R2 will changes to R2 minus 2 times of R1. If you do this operation, what will happen? As we are doing the operation to the second row, our first row will remain the same. And one more thing you need to remember, when you are applying the transformation, this elementary operation, you should apply to both the sides of this equation. Okay, so I will write this matrix. As we don't apply any operation to the first row, you write the entries of first row as it is. 1 minus 1 is equal to, here also first row entry will remain the same. Then write this A as it is. Now you apply this operation to the second row carefully. So what is that operation? R2 changes to R2 minus 2 times R1. So here this entity 2 minus 2 times of 1. So that is 2 minus 2 is equal to 0. So this entry we got as a 0. Next take this entry now. 3 minus 2 times of R1, that is 2 times of minus 1. So this is equal to, minus into minus will become plus, 3 plus 2 is equal to 5. So this entry will become 5. Next, coming to this, take this entry. So it is 0 minus 2 times of 1 is equal to minus 2. So this entry will become minus 2. Next, this entry 1 minus 2 times of 0 is equal to 1. So this entry will become 1. So what we did in this, by using this elementary operation, we made this 2 as a 0. Now next step, you have to make this 5 as 1. So how to make this 5 as 1? You have to multiply the second row by 1 by 5. So operation is R2 will change us to 1 by 5 into R2. Means second row you need to multiply by 1 by 5. So again here, first row no changes, copy as it is. Here also 1, 0 and write this A as it is. Now apply the operation. 0 into 1 by 5 will give you 0 only. Next, 5 into 1 by 5 will give you 1. Next, minus 2 into 1 by 5 is minus 2 by 5. Next, 1 into 1 by 5 is a 1 by 5. So making this 1 is over. Next, we have to make this entry as a 0. How to make this entry 0? See the elements. You have here minus 1 and here you have a 1. So when you add these to minus 1 and plus 1 will make 0, right? So we will do the operation what? So we are doing, careful here, we are doing the operation to the first row. So R1 will changes to R1 plus R2. Now you do this operation. So first row, this R1 plus R2, you need to add the elements of row 1 and row 2. 1 plus 0 is 1, minus 1 plus 1 will 0. Second row as it is, as we are not applying the elementary operation to the second row. So write that entry as it is. So this is equal to, here also you need to add first row with the second row. So 1 plus of minus 2 by 5, that is 5 minus 2 is equal to 3 by 5. So this entry will become 3 by 5. Next, 0 plus 1 by 5 will give you 1 by 5. The second row entries you write as it is. It is minus 2 by 5 and 1 by 5 into this A. So finally what we got here? Left side we got identity matrix with entries 1, 0, 0, 1, and right hand side we have A into this matrix. So multiplication of these two matrices gave us a identity, means this should be the inverse of matrix A. So finally you need to write A inverse. Therefore A inverse is given by this matrix with entries 3 by 5, 1 by 5, minus 2 by 5 and 1 by 5. So like this we can find inverse of a matrix by using elementary operations. So students, next we will solve another problem. So here you have matrix A and you need to find inverse of that matrix by using elementary row operations. So as we use elementary row operations, first let us consider this. A is equal to identity matrix into A. So write this matrix, given matrix as it is equal to identity matrix into matrix A. Next, first we need to make this entry as 1. As in the given question, this entry is already 1, so no need to make any elementary operation here. So let us make this entry, you have here 2, we need to make this entry as a 0. So to make this as 0, we will apply the elementary operation like this. R2 changes to R2 minus 2 times of R1. So what we did here, students, we multiply the first row by 2, then we subtracted R2 minus 2 times of R1. So as we are not applying elementary operation to the first row, write the elements as it is. So here also 1, 2, write that, copy as it is. Here first row element, copy as it is. Now changes will happen in the elements of second row now. This became 0, 2 minus 2, 0 we got. Now let us see what will happen to this element, minus 1. So apply the operation to this. So it is R2 minus 2 times of R1. Observe carefully, students. It is R2 minus 2 times of R1. So minus 1 minus 2 times of R1 element, that is 2. Corresponding element you have to see. So 2 times of 2. So when you simplify this, minus 1 minus 4 is equal to minus 5. So this element changed to minus 5. Next, apply the same operation here also. Second row of identity matrix. So it is 0. What is the operation? Remember that operation. R2 minus 2 times R1. So 0 minus 2 times of 1, that is equal to minus 2. So 0 has become now minus 2. Next, take the other element, that is 1 minus 2 times of 0, that is equal to 1, because 2 times 0 is 0. So this element is will become 1 only. Then this A, write as it is. Don't forget that. Every step you should keep on writing that matrix A. So we made this entry as a 0 in the first step, first elementary operation. Next, we need to make this entry as a 1. So how to make this entry as 1? We have here minus 5. So if you multiply the second row with the minus 1 by 5, that time minus into minus will become plus, and 5 you can cancel with this 5, then it will become 1. So we will do the operation. R2 changes to minus 1 by 5 times of R2. So as we are applying the operation to the second row, and we are not changing the elements of first row, okay, because we are not applying any operation on the first row. First row elements will remain the same. Again copy the same thing, 1 and 2, and here 1 and 0. Apply the operation to the second row now. So it is 0 into minus 1 by 5 is 0, and minus 5 into minus 1 by 5. Again I told minus into minus will become plus, and 5 you can cancel, it will become 1. Now apply here also same operation. Minus 2 into minus 1 by 5. Minus 2 into minus 1 by 5 will become minus into minus will become plus. So it is 2 by 5. So this has transformed to 2 by 5. Next, 1 into minus 1 by 5 is a minus 1 by 5, and this matrix you have to copy as it is. So we made this entry is 1. Now the last task, that is making this as a 0. How to make this entry as a 0? So first row you have 2, in the second row you have 1. So if I multiply the second row by 2, and if I do the subtraction, 2 minus 2 will become 0. So what operation we have to do? R1 will change to R1 minus 2 times of R2. We are applying the operation to the first row. So R1 will change us to R1 minus 2 times of R2. So apply the operation here now. So 2 minus 2 times of 1, that is also 2. 2 minus 2 will become a 0. 1 minus 2 times of 0 is 0 only. So 1 minus 0 is 1. And second row elements you have to copy as it is, as we applying the operation to the first row, not to the second row, right? So second row elements you have to copy as it is. Coming to this side, right side, again you need to apply the same operation to the first row. But the second row will remain the same. So copy 2 by 5 as it is, minus 1 by 5 as it is. Apply the operation only to the first row. So it is 1 minus 2 times of 2 by 5. You can see the calculation here. This entry R1 is 1 minus 2 times of R2 is what? 2 by 5. 1 minus 2 times of 2 by 5. If you simplify, 1 minus 2 into 2 is 4. 4 by 5. 1 minus 4 by 5 is what? It is 1 by 5. So this entry has changed to 1 by 5. Now coming to this. For this also you need to apply the same operation. So 0 minus 2 times of minus 1 by 5. So it is minus into minus will become plus. So it is a 2 by 5. So 0 has changed to 2 by 5. And this A you copy as it is. So here what we got now? A into this matrix giving us identity matrix. So when you multiply two matrices and you are getting an identity matrix means this is what? It is the inverse of the given matrix A. So finally we can write A inverse as this matrix. Copy the same matrix B. Next, let us go to the third problem. Here also you are finding inverse of this given matrix by elementary row operation. So you have to consider first A is equal to identity matrix into A. Then write matrix A is equal to write the identity matrix of the same order and write that A as it is. Next you have to make, as it is already 1, no need to apply any operation here. Apply the operation to the second row. Make this entry as a 0. So to make this entry 0, what we have to do? We have to multiply the first row by 2, then we need to subtract. So R2 we are applying to the second row element. So R2 will change us to R2 minus 2 times of R1. So first row copy as it is. Okay, don't do any changes there, only because we are applying to the second row. Elementary operations we are applying to the second row. So apply the operation now here. So it is 2 minus 2 times 1, that is 0. Next 1 minus 2 times of minus 2. So minus into minus will become plus and 2 into 2 will become 4. So 4 plus 1 is a 5. That is equal to here 0 minus 2 times of 1 is a minus 2 and 1 minus 2 times of 0 is a 1. Then write that matrix A as it is. Next we have to make this entry as 1. You have here 5. So if you multiply this one by 1 by 5, it will become 1. So apply the operation. R2 changes to second row we are applying. So R2 changes to 1 by 5 of R2. So first row copy as it is, 1 and minus 2, and here 1 and 0. Apply the operation. 0 into 1 by 5 is 0. 5 into 1 by 5 is 1. Minus 2 into 1 by 5 is minus 2 by 5. 1 into 1 by 5 is 1 by 5. Then write the matrix A as it is. Next we have to make this entry as 0. This element is there in the first row. So you have to apply the operation to the first row. So R1 changes to what? How to make this entry as a 0? It is this one, R1 plus, you need to multiply this one by 2. So minus 2 plus 2 will become 0. So operation is R1 changes to R1 plus 2 times of R2. So when you do this operation, you will get 1 here. 1 plus 2 times of 0 is 0 only, that is 1. Minus 2 plus 2 times of 1 is a plus 2. Minus 2 plus 2 will become 0. That is equal to 1 plus 2 times of 2 by 5, that is minus 4 by 5. So 1 minus 4 by 5 will give us 1 by 5, and 0 plus 2 times of 1 by 5 is 2 by 5. Second row you have to copy as it is. 0 and 1, here also 0, 1, minus 2 by 5, and here also minus 2 by 5, 1 by 5, 1 by 5 into A. So we have transformed the given matrix A to the identity matrix. So finally we got product of these two matrices, matrix A and this one, and we got identity matrix means inverse of A is this. So A inverse is equal to this matrix. Now coming to the fourth problem, here the matrix A is having the elements 2, 5, 1 and 3. Again it is a 2 cross 2 matrix. So if you want to apply row operations, you have to write A is equal to IA. Then write the matrix A is equal to identity matrix into A. Now here you observe, first element is 2. You need to convert this to 1. So what operation you should do? So to make this 1, we will do the operation R1 minus R2. So 2 minus 1 will give us a 1. So let us do the operation. R1 changes to R1 minus R2. So apply the operation now. 2 minus 1 is a 1. 5 minus 3 is a 2. Second row, no changes because we are not applying the elementary operation to the second row. Copy as it is. Here also, to the first row, you need to apply this elementary operation, that is R1 minus R2. So 1 minus 0 is 1, 0 minus 1 is a minus 1. Second row as it is. Then write this matrix A as it is. Next, we have to make this entry as 0. You have here 1 student and here also you have 1. So if I subtract R2 minus R1 if I do, then this entry will become a 0, right? So we will do the operation R2 changes to R2 minus R1. So first row elements you copy as it is. It is 1, 2, here also 1, 2. There you have 1 and minus 1. 1 minus 1 you copy as it is. Now apply the operation to the second row. Operation is what? R2 minus R1. So 1 minus 1, 0. 3 minus 2, 1. 0 minus 1, minus 1. 1 minus of minus 1, that is plus 1. So 1 plus 1 is a 2 into matrix A. Next, we have to make this entry as a 0. So here you have 2, here you have 1. So if I multiply second row by 2, then it will become 2. Then if I subtract, 2 minus 2 will become a 0. So you need to apply the operation R for the which one? You have to apply to the first row. So R1 changes to R1 minus 2 times of R2. So 1 minus 2 times of 0 is 0. 1 minus 0 is a 1. 2 minus 2 times of 1 is 2 minus 2, that is 0. Second row you have to write as it is. Next, apply the same operation to the first row of your right hand side also. So 1 minus 2 times of minus 1, that is 1 plus 2 is 3. Minus 1 minus 2 times of 2 is minus 1 minus 4, that is minus 5. Second row, copy as it is into A. So we got A into this matrix is equal to identity matrix, means this is the inverse of the given matrix A. So finally we can write A inverse is equal to the matrix having the elements 3, minus 5, minus 1 and 2. So students, we have solved 4 problems of finding inverse of a matrix by using elementary row operations. In case when you apply these operations and if you get the elements of any row or column as zeros, then inverse of that matrix does not exist. So you can remember this as a remark. So what is that remark? After applying one or more elementary row or column operations on A is equal to II, IA or A is equal to AI, if we obtain all zeros in one or more rows of the matrix A on the left hand side, then A inverse does not exist. Next, let us see an important problem which you can remember as a formula to crack your JEE or CET problems. So that problem is, if A is equal to a 2 cross 2 matrix having the entries as trigonometric functions, you have here cos theta, sin theta, minus sin theta, cos theta. Observe carefully. then prove that a to the power n is equal to cos n theta sin n theta minus sin n theta cos n theta. So what you can observe here, so matrix A will be of this form. When you raise the power of A to n, what happened with the inside entries of that matrix? Cos theta has become cos n theta. So you have multiplied the angle by n. Here also you can see angle is multiplied by that power sin n theta minus sin n theta and cos n theta. Students, let us prove this problem by principle of mathematical induction, which you already learnt in your first PUC. So let us take the statement of the given problem, that is P of n colon. If A is equal to this matrix, then A to the power n is equal to, you need to multiply the angles of all the trigonometric functions by this n. So first step of our mathematical induction is we have to consider for n is equal to 1. So you take here n as 1. So statement will become P of 1 is equal to, if A is this matrix, then A to the power, wherever n is there, you replace that n by 1. So it will become A to the power 1 is equal to, here also in all the angles you have that n, so replace that n by 1. So it will become what? Cos theta, sin theta, minus sin theta and cos theta. What is A to the power n? A to the power 1. A to the power 1 is A only. And you can see here, these two matrices are same. So what you proved? You proved this result for n is equal to 1. Next, let us assume the result for n is equal to k. So if A is the given matrix, then A to the power k will be, A to the power k will be what? You need to multiply all these angles by that k. So it will become cos k theta, sin k theta, minus sin k theta, cos k theta. We wrote this by the statement of the given problem. So if A is equal to this, then A to the power k will become, this power you need to multiply to the angles of the given trigonometric functions. We are assuming this data now. Next we need to prove for n is equal to k plus 1. So now you take A to the power k plus 1. A to the power k plus 1, how we can write? It is A into A to the power k. A is the given matrix, okay, cos theta, sin theta, minus sin theta, cos theta. And A to the power k we got in our previous step. How we wrote that? A to the power k as a cos k theta, sin k theta, minus sin k theta into cos k theta. What we did? We multiplied the angles by that power. Now we need to multiply these two matrices. So now multiply, you have to multiply row with the column, corresponding entries you have to multiply and you need to add. So it is cos theta into cos k theta plus sin theta into minus sin k theta, that will become minus sin theta sin k theta. Next, take the first row, multiply with the second column. So cos theta into sin k theta plus sin theta into cos k theta. Next, take the second row, multiply with the first column, minus sin theta into cos k theta plus cos theta into minus sin k theta will become minus cos theta sin k theta. Then multiply the second row with the second column. So minus sin theta into sin k theta plus cos theta into cos k theta. If you observe here, students, what are these? These are nothing but your trigonometric identities. So this is cos theta cos k theta minus sin theta sin k theta. You can compare with cos A cos B minus sin A sin B. What is that? Cos A cos B minus sin A sin B. It is a cos of A plus B. So this you can write as cos of theta plus k theta. Here our angles are theta and k theta. So this expression you can write as cos of theta plus k theta. Now coming to this, it is sin theta cos k theta plus cos theta sin k theta. So that will become sin of theta plus k theta. and again here you can see minus sign in both the terms. That minus you can take out. So when you take that outside, it will become sin theta cos k theta plus cos theta sin k theta. That is nothing but sin of theta plus k theta. Then this one, minus sin theta sin k theta plus cos theta cos k theta. So if you take in this way, cos theta cos k theta minus sin theta sin k theta, that is the formula of cos of theta plus k theta. Now in this expression you take theta outside, so it will become cos of k plus 1 into theta, sin of k plus 1 into theta, and this will become minus sin of k plus 1 into theta and cos of k plus 1 into theta. So here observe students, our left hand side is a to the power k plus 1. What is the power of a we have here? K plus 1. When you see the right hand side, where that k plus 1 has gone, it has gone to the angles of that those trigonometric functions. You can see here cos of k plus 1 into theta, sin of k plus 1 into theta. Here also that power is multiplied to the angles of those trigonometric functions. So we prove the result for n is equal to k plus 1 also. So finally what we can conclude, by the principle of mathematical induction, the statement is true for all n belongs to n. So what is that statement we have? If a is equal to, observe the entries should be like this only. If you have here cos theta, the other element should be sin theta, cos theta sin theta, and one trigonometric function should have a minus sign there, minus sin theta into cos theta. Then a to the power n will become cos n theta sin n theta minus sin n theta cos n theta. So if you want to find the power of a, what you have to do? You have to multiply that power to the angles of those trigonometric functions. You can remember this as an important result. You can use this to crack your competitive exam problems. So let us take few problems which has come in your competitive exam and how you can solve those problems using this result. So students, let us see the problem. So problem is, if A is equal to, here we have 2 cross 2 matrix with entries root 3 by 2, 1 by 2, minus 1 by 2, root 3 by 2. You have to find a to the power 6. If you don't have that formula, how you can find a to the power 6? A to the power 6 can be find as, first you have to multiply a with a, you need to find a square, then a square with a square you will get a to the power 4, then if you multiply a to the power 4 with a square you will get a to the power 6. It is a lengthy process, but you can solve this problem within few seconds by using our previous result. So let us see how we can use that result here. So you have the matrix A, write that matrix, and if you see the entries of those entries of that matrix, you have here root 3 by 2, 1 by 2, they are nothing but your standard angles of trigonometric functions. So what is this root 3 by 2? How you can write it? You can write this as cos of pi by 6. 1 by 2 can be written as sin of pi by 6. Here you have minus 1 by 2. That can be written as a minus sin of pi by 6, and this can be written as cos of pi by 6. So a to the power 6 is equal to, by that formula, how to find a to the power 6? You need to multiply the angles of those trigonometric functions by 6. So let us multiply by 6 to the angles. So it will become what? Pi by 6 into 6. If you multiply 6 you can cancel, then it will become cos pi. Similarly, this will become sin pi, this one minus sin pi, and this as a cos pi. Now just find the values of these trigonometric functions. What is cos pi value? Cos pi value is minus 1, sin pi value is 0, and again here you have minus of sin pi, that will become minus of 0, that is nothing but 0, and cos pi value is minus 1. So which is the answer? Answer is B. Next let us move on to the second problem here. So problem is, if A is equal to a matrix having the entries cos alpha minus sin alpha cos alpha, and this alpha is a real number such that they have given a to the power 32 is equal to matrix with entry 0, minus 1, 1, 0. Then you have to find the value of that angle alpha. So how to solve this problem with the usage of our result? So we are given with the matrix A. A is equal to this matrix. Then let us find what is a to the power 32. Now how to find? You have to multiply the angles by this number 32. So cos alpha will become cos 32 alpha, minus sin alpha will become minus 32 alpha, and this will become sin 32 alpha and cos 32 alpha. And this value they have already given. A to the power 32 is this matrix. So equate this one with the matrix with entry 0, minus 1, 1, 0. Now if two matrices are equal means the corresponding entries should be equal, right? So now equate the corresponding entries. Cos 32 alpha should be equal to 0 and sin 32 alpha should be equal to 1. So when cos of an angle will become equal to 0, cos of a pi by 2 will become a 0, whereas sin of pi by 2 will become equal to 1. So when you equate this angle 32 alpha to pi by 2, alpha will become pi by 64. So answer is option C. So by this we have come to the end of this chapter matrices. Before we end this chapter matrices, let us just summarize what and all we learned in this chapter. We started the chapter from the definition of matrix. So what is a matrix? It is a rectangular array of numbers or functions. Then we saw types of matrices. You have a row matrix, column matrix, square matrix, rectangular matrix, diagonal matrix, scalar matrix, identity matrix, and null matrix. Next we saw operations on matrices. In operations you have addition, subtraction, scalar multiplication and multiplication of matrices. In that you saw properties of those addition and multiplication. Problems based on properties of addition and multiplication are very important for 5 marks. Next you saw transpose of a matrix and its properties. After that symmetric and skew symmetric matrices. And you learned any square matrix can be represented as sum of symmetric and skew symmetric matrices. That is an important concept for your board exam. Next we saw, that is today's topic, finding inverse of a matrix by using elementary operations. That is also an important concept for 3 marks. By this we have completed the chapter matrices. Thank you.